Hi and welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be unboxing and reviewing the Camel painting kit. This is for INR 199 and it has a lot of things inside it. So this is how the package looks. It's very interesting and off the beat I can see that there is some watercolor interesting palette, then there are watercolor tubes, and since it's a painting kit I think it will have all the accessories that are required to start painting. I can also see some neon color pencils over here which matches the packaging. So I got this for INR 199 and these are the items inside it, which is watercolor cakes, tubes, painting brush, drawing book, pencil, sharpener, eraser and a scale. So let's unbox this and see what all is there inside. Here we go. So I can see a couple of pencils over here. So let's start with them. These are the Nova Glow Perfecting Grip. So it doesn't tell me over here whether it's HP or any other one, but I'm assuming since this is a basic kit, it's probably HP. So we'll also sharpen these and figure out how they are. And here's a brush, which is it's for poster colors, watercolors and acrylics. It is size 4 round brush, but it looks like a size 2 to me. So we'll see how we can paint with this. There's a cute watercolor tube set over here inside. So this has 6 colors, which is Chinese white, lemon yellow, carmine, viridian hue, Prussian blue and ivory black. And it doesn't tell me over here whether it's student grade or professional, but I'm assuming it's going to be student grade. There's a nice sharpener. I've got the color green. I like that their entire theme is green. There's a small scale, which is 6 inches. It's a very interesting watercolor cake. I have never tried something like this. And it's got like a nice packaging inside. So let's see how this is. And then there is a nice Excel eraser and a drawing book. So these are the things that is part of this Camel painting kit, and it's for INR 199, which I think is all right because you're getting like a lot of things. So we'll now test these out and we'll see if all of them are good enough to start painting, especially like for beginner level, and if it is worth buying this. So I'm going to start off first with sharpening my pencil, drawing something with it, and then we will, oops, this leaves a lot of pencil dust, or pencil shavings I think I should call it. So we'll figure out whether this is useful for us, or maybe you should get all of these things individually. Individually, you'll end up paying slightly more. That's the advantage of packs like these. And if you're going to be giving like a return gift, oops, this is sad. So if you're going to be giving like a return gift for kids for a birthday party, or if you're looking to buy like in bulk, then I think these turn out to be quite good. So let's see how the paper is. It's not pure white paper. It's an off-white, which is okay. I kind of like this kind of paper. So let's try drawing something and then we'll see if we can paint inside that, and we'll also try painting without it. The pencil is very nice. In fact, it's pretty dark and it's so smooth to use it. So I really like it. So if we have to draw some grapes, let's see, we draw a tree. I really like the pencil. You can see how dark it is. And I like smooth, soft pencils. The brush, I'm not a big fan of it so far. I feel like it's not going to be very useful, but let's try and see if we can paint something with this. Before that, let's try out our eraser. And I find these so hard to like open. Yep, got it. I don't know why they have like the packaging from end to end, because how do I use it? I have to push it out, and actually I cannot use it at all. I have to remove this, otherwise it's not possible to use this. So let's try erasing this. It's not bad, like I did put a lot of pressure on that, so I'm just going to draw like a few lines and see. So it's all right. Since your pencil is too dark, it's going to be difficult to erase it completely, but otherwise it's okay. Time to now move on to the paints. I'm going to try out this first because I'm really excited about that, and then we'll move on to the tubes. So this is 24 colors, and it says smooth color for transparent effect. And if you buy this individually, it is for 70. I've never seen this actually individually. So there is some Camel contest as well, so you can just check if it's still valid when you buy it and take part in it. Oh, there is a brush inside this also. It's a little hard to take it out. Okay, so it doesn't give you details over here, but so I'm not a big fan of brushes like these. You can see the bristles are already like moving apart. So if I put it in a little bit of water, let's see if it changes. No, so I can still see that the bristles are out. There is one tiny one here. Not sure if it's visible in the screen. So I'm not a fan of these kind of brushes because the quality is not great. So hopefully this one is better. We'll try mixing both of them. We'll make some swatches out of this and we'll see how they are. So for the swatches, I'm going to try and use the same brush which they've provided over here. Very interesting 24 colors, and you can use these 4 sides as a mixing palette for you. You can also use this plastic side. So this is the brightest neon I have ever seen in watercolors. I've actually never seen neon in watercolors. So the brush is okay, the paints, the pigments are good. It's I didn't expect it to like in fact come this way. I thought it would be pretty grainy, which it's not, so that's quite nice. And I'm able to do a gradation where I'm able to go from dark to light, so that's an interesting thing for me. So where can you use this? If you're a beginner, of course, you can use this for starting out your paintings. You will need to buy more brushes. You'll need to buy different sizes. You cannot use this brush for anything other than swatching. Going to be pretty difficult. This book is not exactly watercolor paper. It is very thin. I think it must be 40 or 80 GSM at the most, because it's for drawing. It's not really for painting, which is why you can't really layer up. So if you are going to start painting, then I would recommend you to get watercolor paper. But otherwise, to get a hang of basic colors, it's okay. And if you're going to do art on the go, if you want to carry something extremely lightweight with you, which does have like a lot of colors, then this is good. If you're going to be using it on things like coloring book and you want to just have like a lot of colors with you and small areas to cover, then this is good for that. I do like the colors so far. They're all nice, vibrant, happy colors. And they all like belong in the same family. Like they are all happy, bright tones. There's nothing earthy or out of the palette. There's just one neon which is completely, it just is on your face, but I like that color. I wouldn't normally pick it. I like this blue a lot. It looks like azure from White Nights. You could create a small swatch sheet and put it up over here. You can stick it up over there. So whenever you're using your colors, you know what you're taking. So here are the last 4 colors. This is an interesting brown. It's not like your regular burnt sienna. So you can see there are 3 browns over here. So there's one which is a little mild, one which is slightly dark, and here's the darkest. So the watercolors are nice. I'm going to try and fill into this tree over here right now. We'll start from the darkest. I'm just going to create like a little bit of gradation. Oops. I think I drew too thin, so it's all gone out. And we'll try and create some leaves. So it's not too bad. I thought the brush would be very, very difficult to handle, but it's not as bad as I thought that it would be. And since this palette is so lightweight, I can just hold it in my non-dominant hand, the one that I'm not painting from, and it helps me to like mix the colors really fast. This is good. This is not bad at all. So this was a smaller surface. Let's try and see if we can do it for the apple. So this is something that happens where your brush is not able to hold a lot of color. So you have to keep going back to it. With the leaves, I think it was still okay. With this, I'm kind of finding it really hard to fill in. So it's okay. It's not very good for, the brush is not very good for like bigger surfaces, but for small surface, it is very nice. So it's good to start off with. So I'll tell you what I meant by the paper not being watercolor paper. So you will see an impression at the back like this. In fact, you can see some impression that is happening over here. Although these are all just single layers. I've not even added 2-3 layers to watercolor painting, which you normally would do. So that way it's very difficult if you want to start painting on this. I would still recommend you to get watercolor paper and try out these watercolors, and you will be pretty happy with them. I do like them. I think that the pigment is very good. I didn't expect it to be this good, in fact. So a big okay for this particular color. So I'm going to now try out the watercolor tubes, and I'm hoping for these to be much better than the cakes, because in general tubes are always better than cakes. So let's open this and see how it is. So here are the 6 tubes. There's some basic information over here. Again, this is about the contest and your entry label. So if you're going to be entering the contest, then you can send this along. So here are the colors. I'm not very happy with the color range because I feel like there should always be primary colors, in which case here it's not there. So we have a white, we have yellow, which is the lemon yellow, and then there is carmine. I would have preferred red instead of this. Then there is the viridian hue, which is still okay. I would have again preferred a sap green instead. And then there is the Prussian blue, instead of which I would have preferred maybe primary blue or cobalt blue. And then there is black, but it's still good. Let's test these out and see how these colors are. So I'm going to just pick out a small palette and then we will test it out on them. Alright, so let's test it out, and I'm going to be using the other brush that they've given, the size 4, along with it. So I'm going to start off with the lemon yellow. This is a small clay palette that I made by myself. So I'm going to give you little information which is there on top of the tube. These are all 5 ml tubes. And generally if you use any paints directly from the tube, it has much more pigments. It lasts also much longer. There's a lot of quantity in it. So when I'm mixing it, I can see that it's quite good. It's not grainy. It's not, so it's pretty pigmented that way. So it's a good color. So if you see it against the yellow in the tube, of course they're very different colors. It's, I think, this one, yeah, but very similar. So these two are pretty similar. This is the one from the cake and this is from the tube, so it's quite the same. Now in the cakes, they have not mentioned what color is what. They haven't mentioned the names of the colors, so you just have to like match it by yourself. So next we've got the carmine. So you will get liquid out like this. It's completely all right. It's just a protective liquid that they add along with your tube of paint, so don't worry about it when it comes out. So this is what I meant by I'm not very happy with carmine, because this is very pinkish. It's not going to be red. If you have red, then you can mix and match a lot of your colors. You can mix and match your primary colors to get a lot of secondary, tertiary, complementary colors. So much can be done with it. So my green is very, very liquidy. It's just very odd. The brush is good to use, but you can see that the strokes are seen. So I can only make like, let's say, smaller sections. I cannot, if I try to do bigger one, my strokes are going to be visible. So let's test out the blue and then we'll test out the white and black. White you're going to use very less if you want to use it in the way of using watercolors. But since white is given, I would tell you just mix your colors with white and you will find the whole consistency to change. It will become like poster colors or gouache and it will be so much fun to work with. So if you have limited colors, then you can use the paints the way you wish to. You don't really have to stick to traditional style of painting all the time. That's where the fun is. The black is not very dark, so you'll have to add like as less water as possible to the white, the black. Let's now test out the last color of this, which is the white. So with these watercolors, generally they will leave a stain on your palette. My brush has some black in it, so it's not washing it off completely. That's why my white is a little grayish over there. So what did I mean by mixing your white with a different color? So if I mix a little bit of white and this carmine, it creates a very beautiful pink and it's completely opaque. It will not be transparent or translucent like this one, and that's how you like make a different consistency of it, and I think it's completely okay for you to do that. It's a lot of fun. Here I've used very little white and a lot of blue and kind of a lot of water, so you can see that these two blues are also still different. So you can mix up your colors and try and use it in that way, and that's going to be a lot of fun for you, and you will get to make like tons of different kinds of uses out of it. So overall, I think for $1.99 this set is pretty good. You will get 2 sets of watercolors to experiment with, which is your tubes and your cakes, and your cakes have 24 beautiful colors. So overall, I think this kit is worth it, and do give it a shot. If you liked it, leave a comment over here if you've used them, and I will see you soon for the next video. Bye bye.